This is something with James and Steve, and we talk about stuff and things.
Hey, look at that. We made it through the intro.
Hey, we did. Look at that.
It only took 5 tries.
All right. Hopefully it's going to be the last one. As we scour our minds for a better name.
Yes. Well, we have news on the name front. We think we have
a couple of names, but we're getting to that a little bit later.
A couple of names, but we're not going to mention them right now. How did you think our first our Facebook Live went?
Spontaneous.
Well, yes, it definitely went spontaneous because I just picked it up and said, "Hey, I'm going. I'm recording."
Didn't entirely expect it, but it was cool. It was cool.
That was the first time I've ever tried to Facebook Live. It's really easy. You just hit live and then record.
No, I don't understand.
But
yeah. it was the first time. I think that I've asked to be tagged in the post because now I'm ready for this to go
viral. That's it. You're ready for go viral and be a podcast celebrity.
Sure.
Have your name known by 50s of people.
Ones of people.
You know, our last podcast did get like 26 hits.
That's still not 50s.
No, it's not 50s. But, I mean, come on. 25 people, that's not bad. Could you imagine what happened if you were to put this on your Facebook as well? Because, I mean, we're pretty much just going off of my Facebook friends so far.
And you don't really have.
You know what? I actually
friends.
have an issue with that. Why haven't you, like, posted this on your Facebook and shared it with your friends?
I wasn't ready to yet. It was, I don't know. Just not ready to yet.
Are you embarrassed by our podcast? I mean, what's the deal with that?
No, obviously the first.
I've told everyone I know about this.
Right, but the first few were not anything to brag about. You know, until we had something where we had fucking sound that actually worked, where we weren't holding a cell phone for an entire hour in our hands.
Okay. Well, first of all, we never held the cell phone in our hands.
No,
we
we
sat
didn't.
on the desk.
We didn't.
But I mean, we've done at least 4 or 5 shows without the phone. Okay, using the mics.
I know. At this point,
some of them have actually been funny.
Yeah, no. At this point, I probably could go back in time and probably post some of the previous videos or unprivatize or unlist. I guess I could just say list some of the previous videos
because I marked them as public, which is probably what it's called.
Well, I marked them as unlisted, so I would need to unlist them.
Yes,
I would need to unlisted them.
Then if we decided that we didn't want those listed, could we unlist those that have already been unlisted?
You mean could we unlist them?
Yeah, well, unlist the ones that haven't been unlisted yet.
Are they listed? Moving on.
All right. Well, here's the deal. After, when this show goes, when we put the show on live, we're going to make the other shows public for everyone. And if anyone wanted to share them with their friends on their Facebook or wherever, that would be greatly appreciated because we'd like to hit, 30 listeners next for this podcast.
Yeah,
for this week's show.
Could be interesting.
So, what have we got lined up for today, James?
I don't know. Absolutely nothing.
All right. Well, I had one thing. I don't know a better way to put this than I'm poor, okay, and I would like to be rich. I'm sure that's a common sentiment, and
well, you're barking up the wrong tree because I'm not giving you that money.
No, I don't expect anyone to give me that money. I'm trying to make that money myself.
Well, in the end,
I'm gonna create the money.
Money
myself.
Is going to be given to. That's a different thing. You could open a mint.
Here's the deal. I've been trying to think of ideas, and I was listening to some people talk on another podcast or whatever, and somebody said something, and it clicked in my head. Hey, I remember when I was a kid, we would shovel snow from driveways, rake up leaves, whatever we could to try and get a couple extra dollars. Okay, so I came up with the idea of an app where, let's say you had a house or whatever, you needed your yard raked. You needed someone to clear some boxes out of your garage or whatever. you could register with this app in your town,
Right.
and then any kid that was looking to make some spare money could look through this thing and see, local jobs.
Define kid.
12, 13, 14, 15.
Okay.
No, I'm talking like an 8-year-old, but, middle school, high school, whatever, junior high, high school. And they'd be able to go on and register for this and see, Mr. Ants in his pants needs some boxes moved out of his garage. And you could say, okay, I'll do this job, and then you would go over to his house and do the job for him. And then I was thinking about it, and I realized...
That's a stupid name.
I realized I had created a pedophile app. I had thought of a way for pedophiles to bring children into their home. So I don't think that's going to be my $1 million idea.
Probably not.
I guess I'm going to have to keep my day job and continuing doing this podcast.
I guess we need to. I guess we need to somehow protect ourselves from somebody else taking this idea and actually making an app out of this.
Well, look, if someone goes and creates an app out of it, that's fine, and they'll be the one sued. When some kid goes missing.
We're not condoning this idea or this app in any way.
Although if it makes money,
makes
money, it's fully my idea, and I want all the credit. If it doesn't make money, it's James's idea. And all loose lawsuits should be named him.
Making money is subjective. It's how that money is being made. I mean, it could make money. Pedophiles could be paying for the use of this app. Money will be made.
All right. Let's say you made $1 million off of an app idea that you came up with, and then you found out that app was being used for pedophilia. Would you give the money away to charity, or would you keep it and just shut down the app or something? Or would you keep the app going and make more money? I don't know.
Next topic. I don't know. I think any answer to that question is actionable.
Well, no, you could say that you would give the money to charity or something. And I mean, how would any of it be actionable if you really had no idea at the time?
Well, I mean,
becomes more of an ethical question, really, than a legal question.
Whatever the intent or the whatever the intent was for the app. If you're making money off of something that's exploiting children, or that people are using to exploit children, then you would have so many groups after you to try and get you.
So,
yeah.
Do you think there's a lot of groups going after DARPA? Because there's a hell of a lot of pedophilia going on the internet.
Yes, that's true.
Our government created the internet, therefore they are responsible for this pedophilia.
Right. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think that's a dangerous topic. But there's really nothing. There's only one scenario where good things could come out of this app, and way too many where something bad and very bad.
Yeah, no. Like I said, 5 minutes into the idea, I realized this is a bad idea, and I gave up on it.
Was it you that came up with the idea that this is a bad idea?
Oh, I was sitting in my car on my way home.
Were you talking to somebody and they said...
No. I was sitting in my car talking to myself. And, at first I thought it was a great idea. And then I decided, I was like, hey, Steve, that's really bad. Little kids are going to be getting fucked if
I was thinking that you were like...
you make this app.
Right. No, I was under the impression that you were having this conversation with some folks at work. And they said, Steve, maybe... Or maybe nobody actually said anything... And some of them were thinking, it's not a bad idea.
Nope. No. The only person that has heard of this idea is you and me and the microphones.
Okay.
And anyone that might be eavesdropping on us right now. Dropping some eaves.
Yeah, I don't know who is listening in.
So other than... Did you did you
I-
dip your hands in butter before the show?
Sorry, yeah, I'm having a hard time controlling my hands and how things go because there's a little moth flying around in the room, and that shadow that you heard a minute ago that I tried to ignore. I just knocked a votive, a little candle holder, onto the floor and it shattered. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, the show must go on.
And then the next thing he picked up, he dropped.
And then the next thing I picked up, I dropped, and there's wax on my floor, and I'm wearing flip-flops, so I probably have glass in my feet, but if nothing else, I'm dedicated to my craft, so
Yeah.
the show must go on.
The show must. Sorry. So, yeah. Wow, it really is glass all over the place. All right. So, yeah,
There it
pedophile app, bad idea. Okay, I got it. So what else is going on?
I don't know.
A lot of hubbub going on about this this Harvey Weinstein thing in the news.
Oh, yeah, Harvey is a good guy. Oh, wait. Like, you know, I just remember.
Be careful, James. You're
seeing-
gonna have to apologize for that.
It's so fucked up because I remember, for so long, so many years, seeing movies that were put out by Weinstein, big movies that we both have loved for a long time. I don't know if you've followed or if you've looked at some of the movies that he's produced or that the company had produced. View Askew. A lot of their movies were produced by Weinstein.
Oh, sure.
I mean, this is and if you really want to think, about how many attractive actresses, from Jesus, this fucking moth.
I wish I was still
It's like
Facebooking
it's
live.
like in my glasses. Jesus Christ, man.
James is being attacked by a moth.
I'm being attacked by a tiny little moth. This sack of shit.
I think it's Japanese because it just dive bombed right into your glasses.
It's kamikazeing me.
Splat.
Well, I guess this is our topic for the evening. As long as the moth is in here, it will.
Yeah, let's keep talking about the
it'll
moth.
come
We got
back
nothing
over.
else to talk about.
No, but you think of some of the actresses, that you've followed for so many movies. Joey Lauren Adams, for example, from so many Kevin Smith movies.
Who?
Joey Lauren Adams, the one with the really high pitched voice.
I'm really bad with names. Which actress was she in which movie?
She was in Chasing Amy. She was the one who people thought was Amy until they actually watched the movie and
The
realized,
Okay.
and realized that Amy was
like her.
just from a story. Yeah, she's good.
I can't really think of anything else that she's been in, but I know I've seen her in stuff, and I know I've always saying, I like
she
her.
was in Big Daddy and with Adam Sandler and other
yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
But at the same time, okay, so there's a lot of 60, 70 women or something have come out about Weinstein, about what's been happening, and how many of them?
Careful.
No, but what? Obviously, they want him to pay for what he had done. I don't have a problem with that.
Hasn't he already paid for what he did? Because he did things to girls and then he gave them millions of dollars.
Yeah, but that's
Is
a
that what you
payoff.
meant by paying?
A payoff is different. He actually, he paid them off because he had the money. It was fine. It wasn't, it didn't put a dent in his checkbook. Paying somebody, $1 million when he's got, $100 million or $1 billion doesn't make a damn bit of a difference to him. But when he's in such a position, and these women as well, had gotten a career out of him, and they'd been making millions and millions and millions of dollars. What are they going to do with this money? Are they, okay, if they're going to donate it to some charity, but what charity, and what is that charity going to do, and is that really going to do anything? I mean, obviously, he shouldn't have that position anymore. But I saw some woman, I think it was on the Daily Show, was talking about how and it was just an ultra feminist point of view, and I can't really argue it, but it's a little bit silly. She was saying that whenever a man does something like this, he should be replaced by a woman. It's just silly.
Why?
It's a silly concept. It doesn't make any difference who it is, whether it's a man or a woman in the position. If they get the job done, then great. But swapping the sex of the person who's in a certain position, that's just grasping at straws.
All right, look, here's what I really wanted to say about this. You know, everyone's talking about this like this was some big surprise. Oh my God, there's sex is being demanded in return for movie roles in Hollywood. Oh my God, I'm in shock because we've never heard about this before. I mean, this hasn't been a joke, an ongoing. Let's call it a joke, even though it's a serious issue. But it's been an ongoing, joke in movies and in comedians and everywhere you've gone, you've heard. There's not a person on this planet over the age of 15 that can tell me they haven't heard of a casting couch. This is not a new concept. This is not a new concept. But all of a sudden, because this big guy got caught, finally someone came out and said, hey, look at what this guy's doing. Then everyone's like, oh my God, this is horrible. This is horrible. But yet all the people that are saying it's horrible knew it was going on and have been involved in it from one side or the other for decades. And everyone's like, "Oh my God!" I want to say like a year, maybe 2 years ago. Oh man, I can't.
Sure.
That kid with Michael Jackson.
Macaulay Culkin?
No, the other one. The actor kid. The other actor kid.
Elijah Wood?
No, the other one.
Dakota Fanning?
All right, come on. Now you're just being a jerk.
No, wait. Dakota Fanning was a girl. He didn't like those.
The one that was in the vampire movie.
Buffy?
No, come on. You know who I'm talking about.
I have no idea who you're talking about. Jim Carrey from Once Bitten?
No, that idiot kid that had the same kind of name as that other idiot kid that died.
I'm trying to think
Was
of
he in
something
Goonies?
ridiculous, but
No, I don't think he was in Goonies. I can't remember.
I don't know.
He was in that. Oh man, I'm burnt. I don't remember the name.
Bernie Sanders?
No.
Weekend at Bernie's?
Do I gotta Google this right here during the show because you can't remember?
Yes, you do.
Neither one of us can remember.
I have
the name.
no idea who you're talking
Okay, fine.
about.
I'm gonna Google this.
All right, so anyway,
that guy that did that thing with Michael Jackson.
That's going to give you only one result.
I think it's gonna give me lots of results.
But I remember actually reading in when I was a little
Corey
kid.
something or other.
Corey Haim, Corey Feldman.
One of
Those
them
are the only
is
two
dead.
Corys
One of
that I
them,
know.
one of them is dead. One of them isn't. So it's the one that isn't. But
I
he
think both
came
of
out.
those
He
are
came out
alive.
2 years ago and was talking about pedophilia and was talking about gay pedophilia in Hollywood and how all these young kids that were being going out for movie parts and everything were also made to do this stuff. There were stories about from Smokey and the Bandit. I want to say Bruce Willis, not Bruce Willis.
Burt
Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds.
Okay, allegedly he had to perform gay sex acts to get his first roles.
Where? When? Where?
He has said this in interviews. He has
Really?
he has said that he has a book that names names, but it will not be published until after he dies.
I have heard of the term "gay for pay."
Yeah, a lot of actors.
I've heard of that
a lot
term.
of well, I don't want to say a lot of, but there are Hollywood actors that before they were given any movies or anything, before they were allowed to have any main roles, had to do gay porn. I don't know if that was the case with Burt Reynolds, but I have heard he had to do gay sex acts to get some roles. But I think in his case it was just more of a he had to blow or take some anal from from the producers or whatever. But I mean,
Wow.
this is not new. This has been going on for so many decades now.
No, power can do. I don't want to say incredible things. Power can do some pretty.
No, if you're
some pretty
rich and you can,
intense things.
if you can give money or jobs or whatever to people with your power, they're in many cases, they will trade sex for these positions.
I don't know if you ever saw the movie 8mm with Nicolas Cage.
I did see the movie 8mm with Nicolas Cage.
And it was a fucked up movie. It was really twisted. But what I got out of that was what power can do. What you can do with power, what you can do with money. Because that was kind of the point of this, was that this man, it wasn't, okay, maybe he got off on it, but it wasn't so much that he got off on it, it was that he could do it. Because he had the money, he had the power, he had the ability to have people murder somebody and then film it and give it to him. And this is not a new concept.
You're talking about the movie 8mm. Okay, I thought you were talking about Harvey Weinstein. I'm like, was he killing people and filming it?
Or the P-tapes? I mean, there's so many directions it can go. Fuck you, Mom.
No, you're trying to make it in Hollywood, and someone comes off to you and offers you a part in a movie that you're dying for, in return you got to get on your knees for it. A lot of people are going to take
say
that.
Okay. They need your okay. You are the one person that stands between them living on the streets and them making $1 million. At the prospect of them making $1 million, you want to make $1 million? Suck my dick.
Steve is about to say something controversial. Here's the big thing. I have a hard time respecting the women that went and took these deals. Okay? I find it hard to sit there and feel bad for a woman who took a position, got a job where she made $10 million, okay, and she had to watch him shower or watch him jerk off or suck his dick or take a load in the ass or whatever the hell they had to do. I haven't read all the stories. I don't know. I have a hard time feeling bad for them. Because they could have said no. They could have said no.
And they would not have been able to get their career.
And you're right. And that sucks for them. But I want to know how many women are sitting there right now as secretaries or waitresses because they did tell him to fuck off. Those are the ones. Hold on. Those are the ones who I really feel sorry for. Not the ones that took his deal. I mean, I feel sorry that they had to do that. I do. I don't want to see any woman.
They were given an ultimatum.
I don't want to see anyone have to do that. This guy is a piece of shit. He should have his fucking nuts cut off and sewn into his mouth, as far as I'm concerned.
They were dangled this wonderful, enticing golden prize over their heads, and they were told, "You want this? You know what you got to do."
They prostituted themselves.
Everybody has a price. He found it.
Yeah, I'm cheap. I would.
He found that price. To say that somebody sold out for an exorbitant price, you know what it's like in Hollywood?
So what would your price be?
You know what it's like? No, but you hear all of these stories, how hard it is in Hollywood, and people are working 3 jobs just to fucking, pay rent until they can make it big in some movie. Women have a vagina,
and most of them it's never going to happen for.
Women have a vagina, so it's easy for them to be used for that. It's easy to use them for the fact that they have this hole between their legs that men will, if they have the power, will pay for. Will either pay for or will give them a chance in Hollywood. And how big is this chance? There's so many people in Hollywood. I don't know how much say he has over who's going to be cast in what roles. There's obviously casting directors who do that. Maybe he can bump you to the top of the list, but at least get you in the door. And that's all they can hope for.
These people worked for him, so if he had the final say. The buck stop here type of thing. When the boss says put this guy in the movie or put this girl in the movie, he's in. That person, she's in the movie. That's it.
No, there's a union. There's a union with the rules. I don't think they can just say, I want her in the movie and she's in the movie. I don't think it works like that. That would give them. No, I think that would give them way too much control.
I think that's why he had the control to be able to sit there and make girls do these things.
No, fact check me on this, but I don't think he has unlimited control over this. I think there is a voting party.
I think
he can
it
get
was
them
his name on the
onto the
on
roster.
I think it was his name
He
on the
can get
studio.
them onto
he was
the
head
roster.
honcho.
I don't think that matters. He got them onto.
I think that's the only
There
thing that
is-
matters.
There is something that he can get them, but I don't think he can get them the top role in any movie he wants. I don't think they have that say.
No, it would have to be one of his movies that he controls.
I don't think he can even do that. I
It's
don't
just
think
like
he can
I can't do
promise-
anything to any website, but I can do anything I want to mine.
Completely unrelated.
I don't think so.
Completely unrelated.
I think when you're the head of the studio, you have that kind of power. You can
Yeah, there's a
absolutely say,
there
I
are-
want this person in the movie.
there are a lot of
Who,
unions.
who do you think gets to veto? It has nothing to do with the unions.
Absolutely.
If you're an actress or an actor, you're in the union. If
He
you
can
have
o-
a certain amount of jobs and you pay your
So what the fuck is the casting director for?
the casting director is there
What
to
is
help
Allison
people.
Jones doing?
I think the casting
Allison
director
Jones
is
has
sitting
been
there.
casting tons and tons and
No,
tons
but
of
in the
movies.
end, I don't think the casting director has the final say. I
I-
think they still have to go to the head honcho and get it okayed. Or at the very least, I think the head honcho has the power to tell the guy that works for him, you're putting this person in the movie.
I don't think so. But neither of us know, so we're arguing for no reason.
I don't think he could sit
It's
there and
not an
say,
agree or
"Hey,
disagree.
suck my dick,"
I don't think it happens.
and you might have a chance of getting you in, or suck my dick and I'll get you an interview. I'll get you a
Okay, let's
whatever
put
the
it
hell
this
they
way.
don't call
Let's
them
put it
interviews.
this
What do
way.
they call them when you go
Audition.
to
Let's
yeah,
put it this way.
I don't think he has the power to say,
Let's
"Suck
put
my
it this
dick," and I'll
way.
get you an audition.
Let's put it this way. You have a 0% chance right now. You suck his dick, you have at least some chance.
I don't think these women were doing it for the chance. I think he was guaranteeing them and gave them the parts. There's some seriously big names.
There are.
Talking about this stuff, and I suspect that it was a situation where it was, say, do what I say and you can have the job, and don't do what I say and you're out of Hollywood.
I'd like to know which ones did not, or which ones. No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. I'd like to know which ones did, who turned out to be terrible actresses. That would,
I wanna
kind of
know-
sway the,
I wanna
sway the
know
decisions on the matter.
What I really want to know is what happens to the ones that refused, and we never know their names because, like I said, they're waitresses or secretaries or school bus drivers or whatever. Those are the girls, and it's not just girls because I have heard this with men too. But those are the people I feel really bad for. The ones that actually had the balls to say "fuck you."
Really,
Take away my dream, but I'm not doing that.
what really
I would
does-
hope. I have a daughter. I have an 8-year-old
Mhm.
daughter, and I would hope that if someone came to her and said, "Here, I'll give you all the riches in the world if you do this," she would say no. I would like to think, that she has the character, whatever, the ethics, that she would say no. I don't need this. I don't need to be famous if this is what I got to do to get there.
Mhm.
That's the daughter I hope I'm raising, that I'd like to raise. I'm probably, she's more likely to be a serial killer, really, but because I'm raising her. But
No comment.
yeah, you've seen it. She's got that twinkle in her eye. I could tell.
Just
Michelle Myers.
Just that, just that little glimmer of evil.
Oh, it's there. It's absolutely there. She's 8 years old, and you wouldn't believe the shit she's tried to pull. She asks her mom for something, so then and she says no. She comes to me, and she's even done it in front of her mom. When she's sitting there, my wife will be sitting there going, "I just told you no," and you're sitting there asking your father. I'm not saying she's the smartest thing in the world,
I used to do that.
And
then-
look at how you turned out.
and
Great.
then there you go. This is what you're looking at.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, and I don't know, in Hollywood, the prospect of making it big is so powerful. It's hard to say what people will do.
Look, most people want to be rich and famous,
Or
or at least
this,
one of the, or at least the
and this
rich
can
part.
go to any length. Would you murder for a role? If you were a big dude, a big guy like you, and you wanted a position in some movie,
Yeah.
and they said, Yeah, I need this guy offed.
Who said what? What did he
I
say?
need you to off some guy.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Would you?
How much money is the role?
Who knows? It's not just that role, though. Who is only in one movie?
Lots of people. But
who is only in one Weinstein movie?
I have no idea, but I'm sure there are lots of them.
There's lots of them. But there's also those ones who are in many movies, who are making lots and lots and lots of money
I hear
for
what you're
every
saying.
single
Once
movie.
they say yes, there's a better chance of getting a
Of
second role
course.
and a third role and a fourth role.
course.
Would I murder someone to get some part? I really don't think so. If I was single and unattached and some, let's say, elderly woman asked me to perform some sexual acts on her in return for some part that was going to pay me millions of dollars, and I could,
Why is it
have
some elderly woman? This is Harvey Weinstein we're talking about.
Yeah, well, because I'm not sucking dick, I don't care how much money you give me. It's not my thing.
Right. But that's,
it would have to
that's
be
not
some
necessarily the
woman.
only thing that he would offer that he would request. That's why I say, some guy comes
Well,
in.
no, I answered that. I said I really do not believe I would commit an act of violence for the money, for any part.
And that's a different thing because that's an actual crime.
Now, mind you, I said I don't
having sex
think.
with him or anything like that. It's not actually a crime. He's
Actually, no. For you to do something to him wouldn't be the crime. Him demanding it in return for a job is absolutely illegal.
It's all subtext. I mean, if it were worded properly, maybe there would have been a way around it. Maybe there would have been a way out of it.
No,
he didn't.
This
though.
would clearly be a case of sexual harassment.
Right. No,
someone
in this
is
situation,
is holding a job offer over whether or not you will give him sexual or murder someone or everything else. Nah, I'm pretty sure that's outright illegal.
No, you know what? You got the job. But here's also $1 million if you want to, That way,
that would
he's
be
not
harassment.
holding the job
That would be
over
harassment in the workplace. There are very clear laws against that.
Or before even being able to get to a meeting with
that
them.
Would cause a hostile work environment.
For example, I heard recently there was a caretaker, a babysitter, like a live-in babysitter that he was looking for, and he brought this woman in, and he conducted Now this isn't. I mean, it's kind of creepy, but this isn't illegal in any way. But he was conducting the interview in his underwear. And then, I forget what it was, he asked her to do something, but it also wasn't illegal. It was just fucking creepy.
Was it sit here and watch me shower?
I think so.
I heard he did that to someone.
I think so. He's done that to a few. He's a creepy dude.
Oh, dude, no doubt about it.
He's a creepy dude.
To sit here and to do that is just scumbaggy.
But he's also not the only one.
No, absolutely not.
So how deep does the rabbit hole go?
But the thing is, like, but nobody can sit here. Nobody can sit here and claim surprise by this. Nobody should be surprised by this. I mean, there was an entire scene in The Godfather about the movie producer fucking a little girl. Oh, okay. I don't. I've read the book actually more times than I've seen the movie. I know it's really. They make a big deal out of it in the book. I think in the movie, I think when he walks into the house, you see like a woman, a girl, and the mother leaving or something like that. It's because he just had sex with this little girl for some role or something. But I mean, and that movie was made in the 70s. So for at least the last 40 years. Okay, they've been making jokes or comments about women having to provide sex in exchange for getting into Hollywood, for getting roles. I mean, this isn't new, but it doesn't seem that anyone really cared about it until now.
No, it's the what was it, Carlin? The pussification of America.
Yeah.
Now, I do feel...
Is it the pussification of America? I don't think that's pussification.
No. Let me explain. The pussification of America is the people who are so sensitive and so conscientious of the wording that they use. We've had this discussion before. I don't know if this even went on the air. But when you use the wrong terminology, or you class somebody as the wrong gender,
Well, do you know that
or
they
you're
just passed the
triggering
law?
somebody, or
Do you
you're
know that they
or
just
you're
passed a law in the United States that would
bringing
allow for you to go to
or just
jail?
bringing somebody microaggressions, or you're just trying to piss somebody off. Okay. Chill the fuck out, people. Not everybody is after you. Not everybody is trying to piss you off. Not everybody is trying to be offensive. Understand their voice, what they're getting across. Now, again, like I said, I do side with but I do respect gay and lesbian, trans, and whatever, all those rights. I do respect them to identify as what they want to identify as. But at the same time, there's a lot of these people who are just doing this shit to get a rise out of people. I forget who it was, and we were talking about this before. But there's an activist who's gender fluid or whatever, one of those, changes her gender at will, just at random. And this was on one of the late night talk shows.
Poor Will. Poor Will. Hey, Will.
Just fucking Will, man. But at random, or whenever he, she, and I'm not even being offensive, because he, she changes her gender whenever he, she wants. And on this talk show, they were saying, well, how do you, what comes up, and like, when do you feel one way or another? Oh, sometimes I just do it to make people feel uncomfortable. Fuck you. If you're just doing it to piss people off, you deserve for people to take it the wrong way. Because if you're doing it to make people feel uncomfortable, well, do you think these people want to feel uncomfortable?
They're doing it to get in a reaction, and then when someone reacts, they sit there and complain about the way they react.
That's actually what a lot of people thought. Milo Yiannopoulos from Breitbart, one of the editors from Breitbart, that flamboyantly gay guy. He describes himself that way.
No, I know who he is, but I don't remember.
He is doing this shit for a reaction. A lot of people who have spoken with him don't even feel that he actually has these viewpoints. Some of the alt-right viewpoints. Some people don't even think that he really feels that way. He's just doing this for a reaction because he's making a lot of money off of being a gay guy in the alt-right. He's making a lot of money. And he said some stupid shit, and then he got kicked out of Breitbart or something. I don't even remember what it was. This is a few months ago.
It's hard to keep track of what these people get fired for.
Yeah.
Because everybody's getting fired for saying something.
Right.
Someone sneezes, you say, God bless you. Oh, I'm an atheist. Fire this person. It's ridiculous.
That is the pussification of America.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at.
Do you know that they just recently passed a law saying that...
Stormtroopers?
No. It is now illegal. It is now illegal to call someone by the pronoun that they don't want to be associated, whatever. If I'm trans and I now associate myself as a woman and you call me a man, you can actually go to jail. They passed this law. Oh, it's never going to go that far that you can get arrested. But the law says you can be arrested for it. But at the same time they passed that law, they passed another law saying if I have AIDS, I can have sex with you without telling you I have AIDS, and I can pass. And if my AIDS is transmitted to you, well, tough luck. I can give you a deadly disease, but I can't call you the wrong pronoun? What the fuck is wrong with this world?
It's not this world. It's not the whole world. Most countries don't have such a laxed system
Okay.
where you can
What
really
is
say and
wrong
really do
with
whatever
Western
you want.
society? Because this seems to be going on in a lot of Western countries.
It is. It is. I think a lot of countries are taking from America's example. And I only say this. I'm not an anti-American or anything. I love America. I really do. I don't like the way it's going. I don't like the direction it's headed. That doesn't change my love for America. I grew up there. It was my homeland. My parents, my family, my friends live there. I want America to succeed. It's not succeeding the way it's going with these rules that people are pressing for just to get just to be able to be referred to in whatever way. And if you don't, then I'm going to sue you. Lawsuits are a culture in America. You know, when
anything happens, you bump your knee. Ooh, you can sue for, that's the first thing that anyone says. You can sue. You can sue. Are you going to sue? Did you get a lawyer? You want my lawyer?
Here in Israel, it's not like, people don't even think about it. It's not even a concept. But in the U.S., it really is.
My wife got into an accident a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, totaled her car. Okay, it was nobody was hurt and anything else, right? And because of insurance monies and everything else, there's a lawsuit going on. But we're talking like what's probably going to amount to a few thousand shekels, or maybe like $1,000, $2,000.
No,
okay?
you want millions. Yeah, you want millions
exactly.
of dollars.
When you do sue here, you sue for a reasonable amount. Okay, my car was damaged, and the insurance only gave me so much money, but the value was so much more, whatever. So you sue for the difference and everything else. It's not, I banged my knee in the car accident, I'm going to sue my insurance company now for $10 million.
Yeah.
And that's it. Now I don't have to work anymore. That in the United States, that's what everyone's looking for. They're looking for that thing that they can sue for and then change it.
Yeah, it's that easy out.
They're looking to suck someone's dick to get $1 million role in Hollywood, and so that they're on easy street.
We were just talking about that.
Oh, what do you know? It came back full circle.
Speaking of circles, where the fuck is that moth?
I really think I might have killed it. I haven't seen it since I swung at it.
Thank you, Steve.
But well, you're welcome, James. But I didn't see any bug guts on my finger, so I'm not sure. Maybe I pushed him and he cut himself on the glass and bled out.
Good.
Because there's still glass all over the floor here.
Good.
Fucking bug killer.
Yep.
Well, there you go. I guess I would commit murder. I killed that bug.
I didn't even pay you for that. And you ruined.
Told you I was cheap.
And you ruined our conversation piece. Now I don't know what else to talk about.
We're Jews in the media. We should be able to talk about whatever we want.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Weinstein is a Jew. But I do have to say, I do like the fact that
maybe there are too many Jews in the media.
I know I do like the fact that people are taking that and saying, well, here he was a Democrat and he did this. Okay, great. So clearly it doesn't fucking matter if you're a Democrat or Republican. On both sides, everybody does is just look at what's happened at Fox News. I mean, it's, I'm not justifying anything, but the point is moot. It doesn't mean anything.
It's a power thing. It's not a right side of the aisle. It's not a left side. These people have power, and they're trying to wield their power with their penis.
Now, at the same time, Harvey Weinstein could have been a charitable guy, giving to a lot of donations and a lot of charities. Who doesn't know what? How does that mean, though? That he doesn't have sex with anybody that he can because he can.
I want to take this into a slightly different direction here. Do you think that there are a lot of women in power that are making the men under them do things like this in return for positions and raises?
So I was actually thinking about that, and I was using the example from all of the teachers, the female teachers who have been fired for having sexual relations with kids.
Oh, that's a good topic.
I mean, it's in their capacity. It's in their, they obviously can.
But do you think any of those teachers were really wielding power over the students? They're like, okay, you're going to lick my pussy or you're going to get an F. Or do you think it was more like, I'll touch your penis? And the kid's like, oh, let's go. I mean, they're teenage boys. They'll literally fuck anything that would allow them to.
Yeah, Yeah, it's true. I only say this because I was a teenage boy once.
I certainly can't feel bad for those boys.
I only say that because I was a teenage boy once.
And the only reason they get caught, it tells you how hard it is to sit there and make them feel like victims. The only reason they get caught is because they're running around blabbing to all their friends about it.
Right.
They're running around going, oh my God, you're not going to believe this. They're so happy that it happened. It's really hard to say that they're victimized.
And I'm not.
I had a few teachers who I would have loved to have victimized me.
No comment. Yeah, I don't know. I think women have the ability, have the capacity, have the mental capacity to do something like that. You have somebody like, I don't know, Jessica Tandy or Angela Lansbury, coming up.
Yeah, I'll keep my day job.
Flipping burgers at. I don't know. It's a weird topic, but and I have no answer.
It's like someone once said that, like, a woman can't rape a man. Do you agree with that?
I've seen that.
I've heard that from my whole.
I've heard that so many times, and it was in a movie. If you know what movie it is, mention it to us.
Yeah, you can put it in the comments below the video.
And below, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I always wondered, when you see these videos on YouTube, and these guys are sitting here and they're pointing up to the top right or the top left, are they putting or did they pre-plan that? Like, do they know where they're going to position certain things before they?
Yeah, I believe you get to position them, so you can put them in places where it's not affecting your
video. No, they have these
video.
new annotations that you can't. I think old videos that had those annotations will remain, but there's like something new where you can't just have ads across your, like, in a full frame button basically in the YouTube window. I don't know. I heard this. Maybe they disabled and then re-enabled. I don't know.
I never noticed. I don't know.
Oh, anyway.
Whenever I don't, I'm not a gigantic YouTuber, but I don't know. I always see these things up and it says, subscribe, click our next video, blah, 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 blah. No, those things I know that you can put up there. If they did something new and they made some changes, I have no idea.
No, I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, call someone that knows a lot about Google.
Tom's Hardware?
Wait a minute.
No, not Tom's Hardware. What was that? What was that book? You know Tom that
Sawyer?
book. No. You know the book I'm talking about. It was a computer repair book.
Stepsisters? I don't know.
And this guy gave his personal phone number in this book to call him. It was Tom. I think it was Tom's Hardware. You know Tom's Hardware?
Nope.
It's a PC repair site. They're not an endorser or a sponsor.
No. I know Alice's Restaurant. I don't know Tom's Hardware. Sorry.
Anyway, yeah, the guy back in the day, I remember my dad had a copy of one of his books, and it was, just computer guide, troubleshooting guides. And he had his personal phone number, and you'd call it and he would answer. Professionally bound. It wasn't like, just a, thing that you printed out off the interwebs.
Huh. All right, so wait a minute. I just want to see what we've covered here today. Pedophilia, sexual harassment, rape, and
that's the new thing. That's the new thing. There was this Me Too hashtag, and something like 600 something or 60 something thousand people retweeted this hashtag within an hour or the first day or something.
I have seen.
And then the next day, it was already at 1 million something.
Yeah.
So now, following the pussification of America, you can't wink at a woman at work, which is honestly is kind of creepy. You can't give, you're going to have to be overly careful at what kind of compliment you give a woman at work.
Well,
hey, you look great today. Is that
hold
going to
on,
be
hold on,
sexual harassment now?
Hold on a second. Because I've been reading a lot of some of my female friends on Facebook have been writing these Me Too's, okay, and they're writing what some of them were, and some of them have been like, some kid, grabbed my breast.
Everyone wants to be a part of something.
And some guy tried to put his hand down. Some pushed me into a vacant hallway, and tried to shove his tongue down my throat and wouldn't let me leave.
Okay, that's sexual harassment.
I mean, this is a bit more, I think, than a guy winking at you or something else.
I'm just wondering where it's going to go, because again, like I said, everybody wants to be a part of something, and there's this unique group, this Me Too hashtag. I mean, who wouldn't want to be a part of something where you can be a victim, where you'll have people tend to you, who you'll have people caring for you, and you'll have people waiting on you, and is everything okay? Are you all right? Okay. I know a lot of people want to have that feeling. They want to have somebody care for them. I'm not saying that these people are lying, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't be sharing these experiences, but what is it doing to the way we interact with other people, with the other gender? We need to now be extremely careful because we don't want to be listed in that Me Too story.
No, but you know what? This is where I get back the points I lost with my controversial issues on the last topic. No, I think that there is a lot of I think the reason why men are now so scared is because there has been, and there still is, a lot of sexual harassment that women have to deal with on a daily basis. And even if it's nothing more than, you're staring at a girl's tits as she walks by because they're bouncing, or she's got low cut, and you're just, horny and looking at it. Okay?
Right.
Which a girl should be able to wear whatever the fuck she wants, okay? A guy's gonna look. Now, is that sexual harassment? I guess it depends on how long you're staring,
right.
or how
and
you're
now we have semantics.
Well, the thing is,
So,
see, if I leer at a girl, okay, and Brad Pitt leers at a girl, okay, I was sexually harassing her, where she's completely happy about, most likely what Brad Pitt was looking at her, I do it and I'm scum. He does it and the girl feels like it's almost like a compliment because some hot guy was checking her out.
Exactly. So now we need an entirely new set of rules and laws to govern this new terrain, because there's so many ins and outs. To this that you could really there's so, it's so slippery, but I guess I don't know, it's difficult to really have a good conversation on it, because it's all conjecture. There's not really any information, and it's just, there's too many variables. There's way too many variables involved. Like you said, was he hot? Well, okay, then it was fine for him to leer at her like that. But I don't know.
I think. See, it's a really tricky subject. It's a really tricky subject because you're not, the girl isn't attracted to a guy who comes up and hits on her at work. Okay, it could be construed as sexual harassment.
Well, now you have.
If she likes the guy, it's a great story for them to tell their children in 15 years or whatever.
Well, no, it's going to get to the point where you're going to have a set of rules for approaching a woman.
I think it's become
And obviously for a man, because
It's
men are equal to women, and I don't know, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
blah.
but I think because of legitimate, especially in the workplace, because of legitimate harassment that always took place, but the whole stereotype of the old secretary, the boss chasing the secretary around her desk and grabbing her butt and
Right.
forcing her to take dictation, orally.
But
I think they were legitimate things, and then came the lawsuits and everything
need a
that followed,
soundboard.
which should have followed, and everything else. I think that was right, and now it's to the point where everyone's scared because you're afraid that if you do say something that's misconstrued, or you just a friendly wink from across the room, hey, how's it going? I'm in this shit too, wink, wink, and you're afraid that that's gonna get you in trouble.
right.
So again, the pussification with America. Now everyone has to be so overly sensitive
'Cause
about
you have
everything
to be
they do,
afraid.
say, think, feel.
Yes, because you have to be afraid of being sued for millions and millions for some stupid amount of money. It's like prison sentences, 487 consecutive life sentences. That's just stupid.
All right, I'm gonna cut this topic off there
Yeah,
because we do have something to talk about with our last looks like about 4 minutes.
Yes,
The
we do.
names of the show. We've come up with 2 names.
two names.
2 names. Do you remember what they were?
I do remember what they were.
Okay.
One was wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube cast.
Yeah, that was definitely first.
Um,
No, you want to give it the first one?
Sure. The first one, which I was thinking of, was Jews on mics.
No.
Was it Jews on mics?
No, it wasn't Jews on mic.
Jews
It
on-
was
Jews
Jews
on
in
the
the
air.
media.
Jews in the media, right? Sorry, Jews in the media. Well, no, listen, we've gone through so many different names, and we didn't write this down.
We
should have written
finally
this down.
settled
We
on
were-
2 after all this time, and you can't
we
even
were-
remember them.
No, because we've gone through so many others. No, I was thinking of, Jews in the media. But today we were also talking about Jews on the air, Jews on mics, and yours,
that leads to the second one, which is kikes with mics.
which
It's kind of got a nice ring to it. So what we're gonna do is
Yes.
we're gonna allow anyone who listens to vote.
and then we will decide.
No, I think we should. I think we should just straight up take the name. Whichever one gets the most votes, wins.
All right, it's up to you guys. You guys.
We set it whatever day this this finally gets on YouTube, and we give it 1 week from that date to for them to vote. And
You hear that? One day.
or should we put it on Facebook?
I think we need to give one more. I think we need to give more than 1 day because it's an hour. It's an hour podcast, and
We
not
give 1 day.
everybody
I said
is
we
going
give
to
them 1 week.
1 week.
You
I
said
think
1
so.
day.
I thought you said 1 day.
I might have. I don't know. I'm tired. But no, I'm pretty sure I said 1 week. No, we give them 7 days from the time. But actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we could actually just put it on. We can put it on Facebook today. We don't have to wait for the podcast to go out. But then they'll already
technically-
know, and then waiting for 55 minutes to tell them was a waste. So yeah, let's just do it when the podcast comes out.
Okay.
You like the way we're just deciding this on the air?
Yep.
No planning
Welcome
whatsoever.
to our world. This is why this is podcast number 12, and you have never heard any of the other ones. Maybe you've heard
Some of them have been
Couple.
heard.
couple.
25 listeners, man. I'm proud of those 25
On the last
listeners.
one, on episode 11.
Episode 10, I don't even think exists.
Should we just make this episode 2?
No. This is episode 12.
Okay.
One day there'll be, people will be able to go back and hear the early episodes from the phone. We'll get them all online, and
It'll be in our special DVD. Our special features. Be in our commentary.
well, for it to be really a DVD, we'd have to have.
I think a podcast
audio.
kind of just is commentary.
There'd have to be a video for it really to be to put on DVD.
Maybe there is.
People can't see that. We were looking around the room for cameras.
No, we were not.
Yes, we were. Well, we were looking around the room for something. I was looking for a camera.
I was looking for that moth.
I know you. You would hide a camera in your room.
Where? Well, I guess it would be kind of easy.
Mr. Bean bobblehead could very easily be a camera.
But I would need something to record with.
It's kind of disgusting that camera's aiming at your bed, James. Fucking
Which one?
pervert. Bean.
He's not aimed at my bed.
Well, it could very easily be if that was a camera. It could cover your bed from that angle.
How awesome is that? Bean bobblehead? Come on.
So, that's been an hour. And so you got our names. Kikes with Mikes and Jews in the Media. So just leave a comment on the video, and that's where the votes will be counted. Do not leave a vote on my Facebook page. Do not tweet me. Do not text me, WhatsApp, or any other media. We were only counting those comments inside the comment section of the YouTube.
That goes for me also?
Yes. Don't contact James either.
Ever.
Seriously. Never. It should be illegal.
I will sue you.
So,
Yeah,
I guess that's it.
I think
So I'd like to say goodbye. And tonight's show was sponsored, if I remember correctly, by the letter J.
I think so.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And
the color potatoes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think you should give a shout out to your roommate for letting us use his computer since yours is fucked.
John has pulled through. Gave me his computer for the night to use. Perhaps he will actually get a credit as chief technical supervisor or advisor.
I think he should.
Yes.
This is twice now he's lent us his computer and stuff, and we're using
but
his
he's
mic
also
and
helped.
stand as well.
He's also helped with the program, the mics as well. No, he's a trooper. He's a good dude.
I think he should be possibly be our first guest.
Could be. Maybe we'll have some music on the show. We'll see about that.
Yeah.
All right.
That'd be cool. Some live music. All right. Screw you. See you later. Peace.
All right. So following our podcast, we did some thinking about the name, and it turns out that iTunes might not like it.
Yeah, we've decided that most likely iTunes is not going to allow us to use the racial slur kikes on their site.
I imagine a few others might not also. Plus, it welcomes people to just use the slang willy-nilly.
Are you really offended by the word kike?
No, I'm not. But you know what? I will tell you a story.
It's like calling white people hunky.
I will tell you a story. I was at my friend's house. This was in my senior year. So we're at a party at his house. And he and I, we'd tell Jewish jokes back and forth, and we'd done this for a long time. And another kind of friend, more of an acquaintance, came in, and he wanted to be a part of the fun. So he threw in a Jewish joke as well, and we both just eyeballed him. It's like
the white guy who's hanging out with the black guys,
exactly,
and they're all saying nigger, 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 and you say nigger, and then next thing you
and
you get punched, and you wake up 6 months later.
Exactly, if you wake up at all. But yeah, I don't have a problem saying it between me and my friends, but when somebody else says it, it doesn't sound right. It kind of irks you.
Well, I did kind of like the name Kikes with Mikes, but I really do like.
I do like it, but
I think Jews in the Media is better. People are always talking about Jews in the media. The Jews control the media and everything else. So I think it's like a little fuck you at it. Here we are. We're two Jews. This is a media platform, and we're two Jews in the media now. So
deal with it.
This is completely Jewish controlled media, and you're just gonna have to deal with it.
And unfortunately, this means that nobody is gonna win my shirt. But I don't want it. So if anybody wants it, just let me know.
So I think what we should do with the shirt is, if you want the shirt, you can leave a comment on the YouTube video saying, I want the shirt, and we'll pick a random name out of a hat or whatever. Do you have a hat?
I have a hat.
There you go. We will do a.
I have a virtual hat as well.
After this video goes live, and the name is officially announced, we will put everybody's name that says after the week is over. We'll give it 1 week time period, like we were going to do for the shirt for the name contest. And at the end of the week, everyone that comments that they want the shirt, their name will go into a hat, and we will do a drawing live on Facebook Live. And
it will be available for you to come to my house and pick it up, or meet me somewhere.
Well, I think we said we would send it to them.
Anywhere in the world?
Sure. We will mail the shirt to anyone that says they want it anywhere in the world.
Now
and they also get a free 5-year subscription to the.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Very valuable.
Yeah. That also goes with the shirt.
But
by
people
the way.
can exploit that because somebody can say, "Well, yeah, I want the shirt, but I'm in North Korea, so you need to send it to me." Then it becomes a diplomatic matter because
really it becomes a diplomatic matter to send something. I think you're allowed to send post to North
Are
Korea,
you?
especially with an ugly shirt.
Hey, well,
It's not yours.
No.
I mean, technically, it's yours.
Listen, it was from Banana Republic. It wasn't is from Banana Republic.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
All
right. So the name is officially
Jews
in the Media with Stephen. The name is Jews in the Media, and it's Jews in the Media with Stephen James. And we hope you like that name because. Well, we will have. By the time you hear this, we will have bought the website, and it'll be pretty fucking official by then. So we'll be stuck with it, and that's that. So that's the name of the podcast.
So nobody take it in the meantime.
Well, no. By the time
you
hear
won't
this,
hear this. But if you can hear me out the window or anything in the other room.
if you're dropping some eaves there, please leave our domain name alone.
Please.
All right, that's it. It's 4:00 in the morning. I gotta go to sleep. Bye.
Peace.